Good evening, class. My name is Rich Rod Hudson. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I hope y'all had a very good holidays and a good semester. My topic was family violence. Knowing that family violence is a real touchy subject for some people, we also learn the statistics and who normally is involved in family violence. I know it's not a case that is always happening around, and we normally don't hear about it as much. But when I did my research about it, I found some good details about family violence. What is family violence? Family violence occurs when someone uses abusive actions to control and or cause harm to a member within their family or someone who's in an intimate relationship with them. Family violence has different phases of it. One phase could be the intimate partner violence, dealing with your spouse or your significant other. Also, it could be child abuse and neglect. Uh, that can happen when the parents neglect the child, don't want anything to have to do with them, or um, just just give the child up for good. And the third one is elderly abuse, which it could cause somebody to, you know, cause violence towards a grandparent, an auntie, or uncle, or in that nature. There are different types of family violence. Physical violence is one. Sexual violence is sexual abuse. No, excuse me, I'm sorry. Physical abuse is one. Sexual abuse is two. Emotional abuse is three. And financial abuse is the fourth one. Forms of violence. Physical abuse. The behavior of physical abuse is intentional as force is used against someone without receiver's consent. About family violence, which is in the example of it. Examples of physical abuse could be pushing or shoving, hitting, slapping, or kicking, pinching or punching, strangling or choking, stabbing or cutting, shooting, throwing of objects, burning, holding someone down as if someone is assaulting them, or killing someone. Forms of violence that occurs when it's sexual abuse. It occurs when someone engages in sexual activity without the other person's consent. Examples could be sexual touching someone without their consent, continued sexual contact with someone who demanded it to cease. I'm sorry, forcing someone to commit unsafe slash humiliating sexual acts. Victims of this could be a spouse, common law partner, or a dating partner. Forms of violence that which is abuse, emotional abuse, occurs when a person uses or actions to control, cause fear, isolate someone, or ruins their self-respect. Also referred to as psychological abuse. Examples include threats, put downs, name calling, insults, repeated yelling slash criticism, keeping someone from their family and or friends, making fun at the e- making fun of the expense of someone's religion or faith, destroy someone's personal belongings, hurts pets or threats to do so, bullies, intimidates or humiliates, including behavior. Financial abuse could be someone who uses money slash property to control or explain or explicit someone else. Examples include taking someone's money slash property without giving consent, with withholding slash limiting money to control someone, pressure someone to sign documents, or forces to sell things. Intimate partner violence, which is known as IPV, is violence or abuse occurs within marriage, common law, dating, opposite sex relationships, same sex relationships. All IPV occurs do not share the same motives. Motives could be power and control or just to cause harm. Types of violence, types of family violence, IPV. Examples of IPV are follows: when someone tries to control what someone wears, when someone can go somewhere, who someone spends their time with, when someone can talk to their friends and or family, what someone can spend their money on, whether someone can work or take classes, and other aspects of someone's life. This causes some people to stop talking to their family members, um, do the unthinkable things that they may never think they would do, even give their child up and turn on their child. So that has a lot to do with it. Child abuse and neglect includes all the forms of abuse done to a child, physically, emotional, or sexual. The abuser of the child can be A, a parent, B, a sibling, C, a relative, D, a caregiver, E, a guardian, F, a teacher, or G, any professional or volunteer who works with the children. Elderly abuse occurs when any actions behavior by a person, position, or trust, like, for example, an adult, child, family member, friend, or caregiver, that causes risk to harm an elderly adult, older an adult. Elderly abuse includes, but not limited to, hurtful comments, domination slash controlling of the elderly active of the elderly adult activities, isolation of an older person's form from their family, friends, and or regular activities, pressuring an older adult to sign legal documents that they have no clear comprehension of, withholding access to medicine or medical attention as well. The statistics of it: intimate partner, which is IPV, like I said in the previous slide. On an average, approximately 20 people a minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the U.S. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have been victims of a form of physical abuse by their intimate partner. 1 in 7 women and 1 in 18 men have been stalked by their intimate partner. IPV accounts for 15% of all violent crimes. I'm sorry. Women between the ages of 18 and 24 are commonly abused by their partner. 19% of IPV includes a weapon. Weapons can include knives, um, um, any type of cord to strangle the opposite partner, guns of that nature. IPV is prevalently associated with the highest rate of depression and suicide behavior. Child abuse and neglect statistics: a child will witness violence in 22% of IPV cases, 30 to 60% of perps of IPV abuse children in the household. 40% of households reported IPV in the household. Um, and children exposed to violence at home are 15 times more likely to be physically slash sexually abused than the national average. The statistics of an elderly adult abuse are: 1 in 10 Americans aged 60 plus have experienced some form of elderly abuse. Research suggests occurrence of elder abuse are high, as 5 million elders abused annually. 1 in 14 cases of abuse are reported. In nearly 60% of elder abuse cases, the perp is a family member. This is normally the reason why it has a good chance of being a family member, because they know that it's not expected by the family member, so they can control the elderly as they can, and nobody would never know. How do we fight family violence? In conclusion, the Family Violence Against Women Act, which is VAWA, VAWA, passed in 1994, used to stem the tide of increasing families against women and encourage social change. The Family Violence Prevention and Service Act, which is FVPSA, passed in 1984, primary sources of federal funding for domestic violence for domestic violence direct service providers. The Victims of Crime Act VOCA, which is VOCA, passed in 1984, established the Crime Victims Fund to assist and compensate victims slash survivors of this crime. Family violence is one of the most important. I feel for me, in my opinion, that family violence is a very important thing because uh, kids nowadays are getting abused, and the abuser knows that nobody either A will believe the child, or B, the child won't never say nothing due to being scared. Uh, Another thing is it's come where it's more common for an a couple of an opposite sex that's in a relationship or a marriage to have that kind of violence due to arguments, lack of attention, assumptions of being cheated on by another person, or in that nature. And for the elderly adults, they know they can get away with it more because of the simple fact that as an elderly person, they know they don't have that type of I would say to go for it and tell somebody, due to they probably are too old to either A, remember what's going on, or they are also scared and can't do for themselves. Like I said, my name is Rich Rod Hudson. My topic was family violence. As y'all can review my PowerPoint, I hope this may help somebody or somewhere in the long run, so that this won't be a case or an epidemic where this is becoming a everyday thing, or it starts to break out that this could be one of the major things that's happening in the family homes. Thank you. Be blessed.